Today I am sharing with you my February reading recap and giving you a quick synopsis of each book and then what I rated them. So this month I started off with Virgil Wander by Leif Inger. You may have heard of Leif Inger. He wrote Peace Like a River. You will know if you've read that novel, it is literary fiction, beautiful writing. This is a quiet, character-driven novel. It is not fast-paced. It is one where you're going to immerse yourself in this small Midwest town. Beautiful writing, quippy humor. I chuckled throughout the book, and I really enjoyed it. It was one that I initially gave 3 stars to, but then the more I thought about the characters, it sat with me after I finished it. So I ended up giving it 4 stars. This is about Virgil Wander. He was in a car accident, and it's about how he experiences the people in his town after the car accident. Lots of little humorous points. Beautiful writing, small Midwest town, and definitely character driven. So not something that's going to be fast paced, but like I said, if you like literary fiction, you will enjoy this. The second one was Good Taste by Caroline Scott. So I enjoy reading books about food. That is part of the reason I started Novel and Nosh, and this was given to me for that fact. So this is a story about Stella. She is an author, and she has been tasked with writing a book about the history of London food. So it is just one of those books. I gave this 3 stars. There isn't a lot that made me want to continue on. I did finish the book, but I just didn't love the characters, and it wasn't immersive in the sensory experience. I love books for the way I feel, the way I can taste, based on their descriptive writing, and this just didn't offer that for me. So I gave it 3 stars, not one that I personally will recommend because of the type of writing I enjoy. The next one I read was The Spellshop by Sarah Beth Durst. This is a cute novel. A lot of people really love it and describe it as a cottagecore style book. I would definitely say that gives you all the feels. There's some parts in here that I really, really loved. This is about Keela. She is having to leave an island because there is an uprising, and she has to escape because there is a fire in the library. So she takes some of the books that she's carrying over. She takes them with her. She goes back to her home island, and in the books, there are spells. And it's about her going back to her home island and trying to start over, basically. She does have a spider plant, which is her best friend. He is a magical spider plant, so there is some magical realism within the story. There are mermaids within the stories. There are mer horses. For me, personally, it was a little bit too much. And I think if it had been condensed by about 100 pages, I would have enjoyed it more. But still, it's a really cute story. I gave it 3.75, I believe. 3.5, 3.75. Still a really good story. I enjoyed myself through it, but it was just a little bit too much in my eyes. Okay, this is the kind of book I like, and I'll tell you why. Caraval, I gave 4.5 stars. I love descriptive writing. That is something I have learned about myself. The more I try to review books, the more I realize why I love books, certain books. If you can make me feel like I'm in a place And not only do you describe the place, but you provide sensory experiences for me, where I not only can visualize it in my head, but I can smell things, I can taste things. That is what I am all about with my reading. And that is what this is. This is about two sisters who have a really mean father who owns, or he's the ruler of a kingdom. And they have always heard about this man named Legend who has this game. It's a magical game, and it's a competitive game where everybody's trying to get to the finish or figure out what the game is about. And each year, one of the girls writes to Legend about her sister's birthday and how they want to experience the magic of Caraval. Well, they have an opportunity to go to the island of Caraval and explore and experience the game and the magic within it. And I loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. It is a romantasy. I love the characters. I love the visualization that occurred within the book. So much so that like the dress changes colors and the look of the dress changes based on the events. And I just remember like the lighting, the scenery of the lighting and how the lights would flicker or come on and what that meant. All of this kind of created this world that I wanted to go into. I would be curious to know if you have read, I think this is a trilogy, if you have read the second one and you loved it and it's descriptive like I'm mentioning here, let me know, because I've heard mixed reviews about the second one. I want to know if I should read it as well. But this is Caraval, 4.5 stars. If you like descriptive writing, I think you will enjoy this one. The last one I read this month was Letters to the Lost by Iona Gray. So I'm going to show you this. Oh, if you go to the bookstore or look for it online, that is the picture the cover you're wanting to look for. This is an old ARC. I have a ton of old books that I still need to get through. So I'm like committing to myself this year that I'm going to start reading some of those older books. And this was one of them. It is a historical fiction novel. My mother loves historical fiction. That is why I have a ton of historical fiction books. Not that they're here today. I don't usually love historical fiction. Let me re-say that. I love what I read in historical fiction. I don't like to pick up historical fiction. So this one I decided to read, Letters to the Lost. It is about an airman who he's not stationed, he's visiting an area, and he ends up meeting this woman by chance. And there is a connection point for them, and therefore they start to write back and forth. And it is about their relationship over time. And it's going back between World War II and 2011. So it is a romance. There are 2 points within point of view. So a current point of view, current so to speak, 2011 current point of view, and then the letters between Dan and Stella. So the letters between them, it is not written through, there are some letters, but it's not all through letters. The story's not all through the letters. But it is such a good book. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. There is some spice. I would say between a 2 and a 3 chili pepper spice. Probably more so a 2 than a 3. There are a few hard topics in here. There is some rape. There is some abuse. But it's so good. And if you want a tearjerker, this is one you will definitely want to pick up. So that is my reading recap for February. If you have read a descriptive book that you love, make sure to let me know, because I definitely realized that those are the books that I love. And I wanted to let you know that I'm starting to